Hey guys, Ro here and welcome to this video. So today we're making this cute little interactive pocket album. It's super easy to make. It is a single-sided project. If you want to use single-sided paper, that's pretty much what I used for this one. And I'm using the Flower Child collection by Jen Hadfield. So I got this whole collection at Joann's, so it's all over Joann's right now, and it was on sale that day, so I said, heck, I'll just go ahead and grab it. But it's a really cute collection, a lot of retro pieces, cassettes and radios, and stuff that's definitely like my generation, so I had a lot of fun playing with it. I didn't get the smaller paper pad though. That's pretty much the only thing left in the collection that I wanted that they didn't have in stock. But yeah, so let's go ahead and take a peek inside. I am using the tassel from the collection that I bought that goes with it. Flower power. No, they got a lot of flower power going on. And it opens like this and like that. And it's just really simple, guys. Nothing too crazy. Little bookmark here. I put a little piece of cardstock there with, it was washi tape that came with the collection that I just used to cover up this little piece right here. So that's all I did there. I didn't even cover up the space. I mean, this is, I guess you can call it double-sided in the sense that it's all pink. So it doesn't have the feel of like what would be a double-sided sheet, but I'm going to use straight double-sided with you guys today so that that'll prompt me to cover up the space with you guys, because it just wasn't as necessary like with this one, if you know what I mean. So, but this pocket, we just have some cut up parts here. So cute little crossword card there. I just love the ephemera and the cards, the cutout cards that came with this collection. It's a little file folder there. And then here we have this flap that opens like this, a couple little cutout parts. And I didn't worry about covering that white space, but I'll give you the measurements if you want to. And then I just used a piece of ephemera to close it up, but you don't even have to close it at all. Just totally up to you. So that's what this side of it looks like. And then we have this side. So it starts out this way, opens like that, and then you turn it around this way. And then I put a Velcro closure on this side. I used this for the front, but this one I used Velcro. So then it opens up like this. Then we have another little interactive flap here and a couple little cutout parts there that were just really cool. And I just close it like this. And then over here, I just used, I got the card kit that came with this collection. I just kind of cut it down to match here and just stick it right on over. Just more space for doing some writing, and then a couple little cutout parts. And isn't the ephemera with this collection just so cute? Lots of like skates and cassette tapes and old radios and stuff like that. So really cool little vibe there. So yeah, then this one closes like this, and then we also have a pocket in the middle here that I just put the little cutout part. So basically it's like a double-sided pocket album, I guess you can call, or double-sided interactive pocket album. I don't know. It's just a lot of words there. So because it opens like this, and then you turn it around and you can have it open another way. Just another, way to do these fun little albums that we've seen before out there. All right, so let's go ahead and grab our scoreboard and a sheet of 12 by 12 paper. These are from the Flower Child collection. I just picked two random sheets that I don't care too much for because I don't really have any plans for this album. It's just a demo and show you guys. So that's why I just picked those two. I don't normally like these wood background sheets for the most part. So let me go ahead and take my branding strips off, and then we can get started. It's pretty much two sheets, I think, if you use the interactive elements. But if you didn't want the flaps and just wanted it to be a pocket album, it's literally a 1 12 by 12 sheet project. So, but that would be totally up to you. Just taking off my little strips there. Okay, so I just need one sheet for now. I guess I'll use this one as the base. So we're going to cut two sheets that are 6 by 12. And then this one should already be 6 by 12. So we have our two sheets here. Then we're going to take one of them. So if this is single-sided, like mine, what we're going to do is turn this over to where our white space is on the top, okay? And we'll have our design go down on the board. This way, when we do our scoring, our 2-inch panel will end up on this side. We want that 2-inch panel over here. So that's why we do it this way. So keep that in mind. If you're using single-sided, turn it around to do the scoring right now and have the white space up. I don't really think it'll matter if you're using double-sided paper. Okay, so we're gonna score it at 5 and at 10. Then we're gonna turn it once, and then we're just gonna score it at 2 all the way down. Okay, so it'll look like that. We want this 2-inch side right here to end up on this side when we fold up for our pocket. Because if not, it would have ended up like this. And I didn't record the measurements for white space down here. And we also want our panel to be over there. So this is easily figure outable, but we definitely want this 2-inch panel to be on this side when it's all said and done. So I hope that makes sense, but that's why we did it that way. All right, so let's go ahead and score our other one. So again, we're gonna have our white space facing up, and we're gonna go 5 and 10. And then we're gonna turn it once like this, and we're gonna score at 2 all the way down. There we go. And then that gives us this one. And then let's go ahead and take another sheet. If you do want yours to have the interactive flaps like this one, that's why we need this extra sheet. But if you don't want the flaps and you just want to keep it looking like this on both sides, which is adorable, then you don't really need to do this. Although if it's single-sided, you probably should anyways, because we're going to use them to cover up the back if you don't want the flaps. So, but just giving you a heads up. Okay, so let's grab our next sheet, and these ones we're going to do at 4.5 by 4 7/8. So 4 7/8, that's the mark right before the 5, and right after 4 3/4. So again, the mark right before the 5-inch. So that's our 4 7/8. And then by 4.5, we want 4 of these sheets all together. So there's one of our 4.5. I'll bring this one down. It's another 4.5. And then what we're going to do is score at 1/2 inch on that 4.5-inch side. So I might as well just leave it there and do that now. So 1/2 inch on the 4.5-inch side. Okay, so let's do a couple more, 4 all together. So we're going to go again to that 4 7/8 right before the 5 by 4.5. Score at 1/2 inch on that 4.5. And then one more we need. So there we go. And now, that score line really sucked. I'm going to pay for that later, but that's okay. I'm just showing you guys how to make it. So be nicer with your score lines than I am today. All right. So let's go ahead and grab one of our little panels here, and we will start burnishing them. And we just want to make sure that when we're folding them, that like the score, everything matches up okay. I tend to fly right on through, so the tutorial's not too long. It just takes forever and a Christmas to upload to YouTube when it goes over a certain amount of time. It's crazy, the difference. It's like, whoa, will they ever get to see the video? All right, I'm just folding on all the score lines for now on both of these 6 by 12 sheets. So that's all we're doing at the moment. Okay, looking good. All right, so on one of them, only one of them, we're gonna do this step. So pick one, and then we're gonna just cut out this little square, only on one of them. This is our back one, because this is going to end up being the one that has the clutch style closure. And then we'll go ahead and round our corners on this flap. Remember, this is only for one of the sheets. All right, and so we can put this one aside. Let's grab this one that we didn't cut the little square out. We'll bring it up like this. This gives us our 2 little pockets. And now with this one, I don't know, just for the fun of it, I didn't really have any rhyme or reason, but I did do a little cut right here. I just, eyeballed it and did that. I just snipped it a little bit right there on the edge. I just like the look of it a little bit better that way. And my score lines suck, but that's okay. I did not do a good job folding. All right, so now let's go ahead and take our little sheets that we did 4 of them. We'll go ahead and burnish them on the score line. We can go ahead and cut these little corners off on both sides, like that. Okay, so once we get to this step, we have a couple options. You can, by all means, do 4 interactive sheets. So where, you know, it'll open like this and then open like this. That's what I originally was going to do. I don't know, for some, you know, these projects sometimes take a life on their own, and it was just telling me I don't want 4 flaps. So I didn't. I ended up gluing one down and just used it to cover up the white space. So you can go either way. You can make them flaps all the way across. You can forget the flaps. You can do it just like I did. So my point to that is, if you don't want a flap on any of these pockets, all you would need to do is just cut off this 1/2 inch panel, and then it'll be the perfect size to just glue and cover up this white space. So just whichever way you want to go. So I'll just do that. I'm going to just follow along with how I did mine, but keep in mind, you can make them interactive, you know, all 4 of the pieces if you want to, but we'll do it just like I did mine. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and glue this down and just use it to cover up the white space. And we just want to keep an eye when we glue it that we stay in between these 2 score lines and kind of, you know, put in the middle there in between the 2 for the most part. And I have a little bit of overage here, so I'm just going to cut that off really quick. There we go. All right, so that one's done. And then this one, we are going to make an interactive flap. So we'll keep this little 1/2 inch panel. Excuse me. My throat is so dry. Okay. And then here we go. We're going to just glue this right here. It's going to go over this pocket, so it'll go like this. And we're just going to glue the panel like this to where it's on that side. You can do it on the inside too if you wanted to, but then you would kind of see it there. And in this way, you know, I just thought it was neater because we're going to glue the back of this anyways. So that's how I did it. I'm just going to glue the panel like that to the back. Okay, so we'll be putting glue right here on the inside. And then I'm just going to put this on, and we just want to make sure that we stay again. Make sure we don't end up on this score line right here on top of it. Close to it, but not on top of it, because we want to be able to fold our album. And just want to make sure that that's nice and even. There we go. And we just want it to be able to close okay. Okay, so far so good. And if you have any overage down here, like I do, you can just go ahead and cut that right off. You can also take a little bit more off if you want to. You know, I originally didn't intend to do that, but for some reason, I think I just wanted to play more with the ephemera or something, so I closed it. But you really don't have to do this step. It's going to be just fine. Once it's folded, it'll open, and you'll be able to just bring your flaps up, just like any other interactive album, so you don't really have to put the closure here. But in case you want to, I'll show you how to do that. Or literally where I cut it. I think I just took only like a 1/2 inch off. So I just took it like this, or well, actually like this. And I just took like, I don't know, like, yeah, about an inch off, I would say. Let's see. Yeah, about that. So like an inch or a 1/2 inch. Well, let me see. How much did I take off? This is normally 4.5. Yeah, I guess I took off about an inch. But I don't think you need to take off that much. Maybe go down to like take 3/4 of an inch off, or half. It's totally up to you. I don't know why I'm being all technical, but cut off whatever you want. I think for mine, let me see. I don't remember what I cut off here. Mine, yeah, I cut off like 3/4 of an inch exactly if you wanted it just like mine. And then you can just put a little piece of ephemera here and use that as the closure if you want to. All right, and you know what? I did not glue mine down. I didn't glue any of the pockets down because this flap, it ended up keeping the pockets closed enough that it was fine for my liking. But let's do a little bit of glue on the pockets. I probably should have. But yeah, I ended up not doing any glue. So I'm thinking what we can do is put glue like right here. So we'll stick glue on this side of this score line right here. Just one little thin bead. And I'm gonna put that on top. That way it's down a little bit, and perhaps we can put glue. I like to keep it where they can just run into each other there for some reason. So I'm just gonna put glue on this end right here. Just one thin bead on this edge right here. And that will keep it, you know, glued down enough. But you can add more if you want, you know, on each side of each score line if you want it to. But that'll keep it down just fine. All right, so we've got one of our pockets done. This goes in, actually, like that. So when it opens, it's gonna open like this, like that, and you'll have your flap here. Okay. So that one is done. Let's go ahead and grab our other panel. This will be the other side where I did the Velcro closure there. And if you want to, let's decide first how we're gonna do our little flaps. So let me see what I did with mine. Okay, so on this one, I did the interactive flap here, and I just covered up the white space on this side. So we'll go ahead and do that. And I'm just gonna cut these corners off at the same time here on these remaining 2 sheets that we have. So this one will make our little interactive flap. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue it down like this. We make sure it's in between these 2 score lines. And we'll glue it like that, just like we did with the other one. So the flap will be on the back. And I'm just making sure that I'm in between these 2 score lines, okay? There we go. Okay, and so when it comes up, we'll have that, I'm sorry, this is the flap, so it'll be like that. And again, you can cut some off if you want to. It's totally up to you. And then over here, we're just gonna cover up the white space. So since we're doing that, we're gonna get rid of this 1/2 inch panel here. So that way these panels are ready to go, or these sheets, depending on how you wanna do it when you get to that step. All right, and I'm just gonna put glue all the way since we're just covering up white space with this one. I just need to see better, so I'm gonna make sure I'm not hugging this score line right there because we wanna be able to fold it. So there we go. And that looks good. And now we can decide where to put some glue. So I think for this one, I'll put, I think I'm just gonna put a thin bead of glue on each side of this little score line right here. But you guys know my thin bead, it never ends up being a thin bead, but okay. So I put a thin bead one on each side of the score line to keep these pockets down. And then there we go. Now we have this one done. And you can by all means cover this up if you want to. I don't think it was that noticeable because like I said, mine was, you can consider it single-sided because I covered up some stuff, but not the same as having white space, which I get. So let me give you the measurements for that. So we already know that this measurement is the same, and this one actually should be too. It should be like 4.5 by 5, but let's double check real quick. 4 by, so it's actually 4 by 4 7/8, but you could say 5. So 4 by 5 to cover this up, and then you can just trim around it if you want to if you want to cover that white space up. I don't think that I did. Yeah, I didn't on mine, but you definitely can. And it could be really fun too. Ooh, let's do it, you guys, because then like we can, since we're covering up the white space, we can have another pocket here or pocket there, like, right? We could just, okay, let's do some more fun stuff. Why not? All right, so what did I say? 4.5 by 5 or 4 by 5? Let's try that. I think it's 4 by 5. So 4 I think that should do the trick. And while we're playing, might as well make some more pockets. Yeah, so that's kind of long. Let's see. Let me measure this again. 4 7/8. Oh yeah, because you did that so that it would fold okay by 4. So let me do those measurements. 4 7/8 by 4. Yeah, I don't know why it was so big. I didn't take that much off. Goodness. Okay. Still some white space here. I'm just gonna. Then I want to give you the exact same measurements. Maybe it's 3 7/8 by 4 7/8. Maybe that's what it is. Let me try it first, guys. 3 7/8. But see, now that gives me a little bit of white space around it, which is fine too. I think this is a good size. So that would be 4 7/8 by 3 7/8. Okay, or you can just go 4 7/8 by 4 and just trim down to your liking. Okay, that's probably an easier way to say it. But if you just wanted to do the 3 7/8, it's the mark right before the 4 that you cut on. So it'll be right here, right before the 4-inch. Okay, so let's play and do some pockets here. I'm thinking I'm gonna put a pocket on that side. What do you guys think? I'm just gonna put a pocket. Why not? Since we're covering up white space, that's always an opportunity to go pocket crazy. So in that case, I'm just gonna put my glue like this. But you know, cover the whole thing with glue if you don't wanna play with any pockets. And I'm just gonna go like that. And that's cute. And that's another fun way to do your flap. Ooh, and I've got some overage here, so let me cut that off. That's not cute. I mean, I want that on this side. Jeez. This white space is ferocious on this one. Okay. All right, and so now you know the measurements for this other one too. If you want to do the same thing and maybe put a pocket on that side or even up top, you know, really whatever you want to do. So now you have all the measurements for the white space. If you do want to cover this one up, I just put a little sheet over it. Then this one would be 2 by, let's say 4. So let's do that together just in case. So this is 4 by 2. And that should cover that up pretty good. Oh, because I glued it on this one, it's not exact. So you might want to put this sheet if you decide to put one before you glue it. But like if I was doing it and ended up here, I would just go ahead and glue it like this. And then I would just cut around it, just cut the overage off. That's probably what I would do if I had glued it already. But you really don't need it, you know, because once you put something in there, it's not going to show. So it's just totally up to you. All right, so where are we now? And I think we can just go ahead and glue them together now that we have them both finished. So let's see. This one's going to end up like this. That's our front one. And then this is our back one. And this is the one where you can do the Velcro closure as well, or magnet, or, you know, ribbon, whatever you want. You could also keep it to where, just like that one, where you have the extra panel there and fold it in. And it'll be the same on both sides. So it's just really up to you. All right, so then once we have them like that, we're going to turn this one this way. And these are going to get glued one on top of each other like that. Okay, and so to make our little pocket here, we're just going to put glue like that. Just 3 times around. That'll give us our kind of secret hidden middle pocket if you want it. And one just right on top of the other directly. There we go. I guess it could have been 2 separate albums too, in a sense. All right, and so now opens like that. We have our flap there, turn, and we have this one, and we have our flap here. We've got our pocket there, pockets here. Yeah, so just a fun little way to do a pocket album. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I always enjoy crafting with you guys. I don't think I kept you too long. I think we're about 25 minutes or so, which is a good time to get it uploaded without taking too long to get it over to you guys. So yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. I can't wait to hang out with you inside of our next project, and happy crafting. So bye for now.